So just this, going live on YouTube. Let's see what happens. Sitting in front of a screen, watching, waiting if anyone would join or not. It's just this already. There was no announcement of this live session. It's just popping up. Let's go live on YouTube and see if anyone will show. Maybe questions, maybe not, maybe laughing, maybe crying. Just this, whatever seems to be happening. We can call this live on YouTube, or we can call this talking, or having a meeting, gathering, philosophizing. It doesn't matter. Whatever seems to be happening, sitting in front of a screen and talking doesn't need a name for it to be already just full on whatever seems to be happening. And this doesn't need anything to be just this already. And saying there's just this is this already, and thinking that this comes from knowing or from a certain type of realization is just this. And there's no one doing just this already. There's no one doing anything. But thinking there is, or believing there's someone doing this, or there's something hidden which is doing this in the shape of God, or the brain, or Shiva, or whatever name is being given, is this too. Believing, imagining that there's something behind all this is this already, and there's no escape. There's no escape imaginating, thinking, believing, feeling, loving, longing, hoping, trying, inquiring. It's just all simply what seems to be happening, as is this. Sitting in front of a screen, talking, watching, and looking if people will join. It's this already. And wondering if people will join is this. And there's no way out. There's already no one doing just this. So let's see what happens. Questions, answers, comments, whatever. It doesn't matter, whatever seems to arise, or singing, crying, saying this is total bullshit. I believe that there is a me who's able to become more aware, to become more realized, to become enlightenment. Yeah, that's it. That's it too. Thinking there's a you, believing that you can do something and that you can have a better life and you can be free is this already. And there's already no one doing the believing and doing the trying and doing the hoping, or going to a guru or not, or sometimes, or believing there are some other people, gurus, who know what this is this already. And there's no escape, there's nothing wrong with whatever seems or not seems to be happening. And thinking it's wrong or not is this already, and there's no one thinking, believing, hoping, feeling, guessing already. Just simply this, simply whatever seems to be happening or not happening, of course. And calling this sitting in front of a screen, watching, talking, listening, wondering, giving this names is this already. And whatever seems to be happening sitting in front of a screen doesn't need a name for this to be already just this. This, whatever seems to be happening, doesn't need anything for it to be just already simply this. And saying it needs something or not is already just this. So this doesn't lead to anything else. This doesn't need to be believed or not. You cannot get this. You cannot feel this. You cannot grasp this as there's just this. No you to grab this, feel this, reach this, understand this, know this. And making this into an it or into a that is this too. Dividing is this already. Dividing this in bits and parts, and here and there, and now and in the future is already just simply this. Now, whatever seems to be happening is not separated from something else, which is not this already. What a joy. So anything may appear to happen. Thoughts, doubts, wondering, what if, this, then that, why not, should I not, should I do this, maybe this will help me. It's all just simply arising, as is the suggesting that it does. And anything may just simply happen. Being nervous, being irritated, happy, sad, angry, frustrated, it all just simply arises. And looking for a conclusion or making a conclusion, I'm angry because of this or that, is this already. I feel happy because of this and that, or because I did this and that's why I'm happy now, is this already. So making assumptions and making conclusions and connecting dots is this already. Just simply, effortlessly appears to happen. Making this logical, understandable, making this into a teaching is this already. And thinking there's a you or feeling there's a you who's able to get this, whatever seems to be happening, is just simply appearing to happen, making this into something which is graspable, attainable, reachable, is this. So, how can I get this? Well, you can't. There's already no you or me getting this to begin with. There's just this. just simply whatever seems to be happening. As is the idea that there is a you, or the belief or the felt sensation that there is a you, able to get this. So thinking, feeling, and believing, or assuming that there is someone who knows something which I also want to know, or which I want to get, is this already. And it just simply arises. There's already no one doing whatever seems to be happening. And feeling there's a you doing this, or believing there's a you doing this, or hoping there's a you doing this, or even saying there's no you doing this, is this already. And thinking that's the truth, is this already. Thinking that whatever is being said here will lead to something or not, is this. And anything may happen. A sense of, well, this is helpful may just simply happen. And making a conclusion that it's because of listening to a YouTube live is already just this. And liking this suggestion, so to say, or not liking this suggestion that there is just this, is this already. And this may shift, apparently. Liking this may just go into, what a bullshit. I don't like this anymore. It's not giving me what I want. Fuck it. I don't want to listen to this anymore. It's bullshit. It's not giving me something. Is this already? And there's no way out. I'm thinking this is bullshit, and then suddenly, well, maybe, yeah, there is something there which I like. Is this too? Scrolling the internet and coming to a YouTube channel and seeing, well, there's just this, and getting interested in what is meant by just this, is this too? Just simply arises. You never know what's next. Getting totally bored with the same message is this. And watching every day every clip to see, to try, to understand, or to get this, and making this suggestion or words or whatever you want to call it into a teaching which is gettable and reachable and attainable is just this. There's no difference. Simply rises. And going to all types of meetings, so-called non-duality meetings or oneness meetings, and trying to find something in the words, trying to get it clear, hoping that it will click. Maybe someday it will click. Maybe someday I will see it like the speakers are seeing it. That's it too. And there's already no one seeing this, as there's no you and this. There's no this and something else. And going from meeting to meeting, Tim, Jim, Tony, Andreas, whatever, and hoping to find something there which will change this, which will make me more or make me feel less like a me or will end the search is this. There's absolutely nothing wrong with searching or feeling like a me. Searching or feeling like a me or not feeling like a me is just simply what seems to be happening. And having the idea or belief or making the assumption that searching and feeling like me is in a way dirty or needs to stop or is less good than not feeling like me is just simply this already. And there's no one doing just this. And searching and hoping to find relief from the sense of self or relief from the search is this already. There's no you searching and there's no you already having a sense of self. And trying to get rid of the contraction, whatever that means, contracted self, and trying to feel if you are contracted is this. It simply rises. Trying to feel if there is a contraction going on and wondering if that will stop if I go to meetings and listen is this. And there's nothing wrong with going to meetings. There's nothing wrong with going to Tim, Jim, whoever the hell is speaking, Sander, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. It's always just this, whatever seems to be happening. And thinking that going to a meeting will change this into something which is not this already, the need for or the absence of that need, is just this. And going to non duality meetings or watching football or Netflix or tennis or sitting on the couch and playing with your cat is just simply this. And there's no difference between going to a guru who's telling you there's a you able to get more free, to get realized, to become pure awareness, or listening to a Zoom meeting to a guy who's saying there's just this. There's no difference. And thinking that one or the other is better is this already. And believing that there's something behind this which you really are and which you really can become is this already. And thinking and believing there's no one already to become somebody or no one to become a nobody is this too. It doesn't matter going to meetings or going to a guru or not. It's exactly the same. It's just simply, neutrally, naturally what seems to be happening. So loving Sadhguru, Moji, Eckhart Tolle, Rupert, or wherever who is speaking, or the so-called non-duality speakers, is just this. It's already just simply whatever seems to be happening. Liking ice cream or not, loving chocolate or not, it's just simply this. And trying to love ice cream is this too. So anything may happen. Questions, statements, suggesting. And there may be an idea, well, I don't know what to ask. Maybe my question is very stupid, or I already know the answer. I know already what you are going to say, and I don't want to ask. Maybe should I ask, or maybe should I not? Is this already? Having doubts to ask a question and wondering if it's the right question, if it don't look stupid, or thinking it's a stupid question or it's meaningless, or thinking that the one speaking is already or already knowing what he's going to say is this too. There are no wrong questions, no crazy questions, just questions, answers, and thinking that the answer will bring something, more clarity, or it will bring nothing, is this. Just simply this already. So maybe anybody watching want to share something, doesn't matter what, whatever is coming up. It's never stupid, but thinking it's stupid is it too. Maybe you're getting bored. Maybe there's still a sense, well, I know there's nothing to get. I know there's nothing to reach, but how can I see that? How can I see that there's nothing to get? How can I know that there's nothing to get? Well, that's it too. Objectifying the message that there's just this or there's nothing to gain and making this into something which is gettable, making there's nothing to get into something which you can get, is this already. So making just this into something which you can see, or you can know, or you can find, or you can believe, is this. And there's no way out of this, as there's already no you in this. So, how do you know this? Well, thinking that there's a me knowing just this is already just this. Thinking this is a knowing is this. So, the idea that this is a knowing, that this is known, that there's just this, is this already. And there's no escape as it's already done. It's already just this. Thinking this comes from knowing. And there's no way out as it's already done. Just simply whatever ever seems to arise. Sitting in front of a screen, listening, wondering, doubting, liking or not. Just this, simply. And whatever seems to be happening, this doesn't need a name. And the saying it doesn't need anything, or it does need a you, is this already. Believing that this needs you, and without you, this is not here, or will not work, is this already. And that's just this. And there's nothing wrong with whatever seems to arise, even with the idea or the thought that it's wrong. Thinking you should be a better person, a more loving person, a more aware person, and that you should live more in the now is this. It simply rises. And believing and thinking that by doing practices and meditation, you will be a better person, more loving, more aware, is this. And there's nothing wrong with whatever seems to arise, ideas, beliefs, assumptions, conclusions. They just simply fall like rain. Beliefs, thoughts, assumptions, ideas, conclusions just simply fall like rain. There's no you doing the thinking. And calling this a philosophy, a concept, a story, an idea, or bullshit is just this. Giving this a name and saying, well, that's just a story, is just this. And in a way, saying that this is just a story is just another story. And saying it's all just concepts is just another concept. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatever this is being called. Calling this just this, or calling this life, or awareness, or boundless love, or bubblegum, or perfection, or unknown, calling this unknown, or oneness, or two-ness, or heaven or hell is just this already. And whatever seems to be happening doesn't need any names, it doesn't care. Sitting in front of a screen and listening doesn't need a name for it to be already just sitting in front of a screen and listening. It doesn't need to be mentioned for it to be already just simply this. And sitting in front of a screen and listening doesn't go anywhere. It's just this already, full on, sitting in front of a screen. Nothing is lacking. And thinking it would be more nice with something extra is this. It doesn't make it more this than what this already is. And sitting here with 10 people or 12 people or 100 people doesn't make it more this than this already. It's still just this, whatever seems to be happening. And sitting here with one or with none, it doesn't matter. It's still this, whatever seems to be going on. Life feels like a task that I have to do. Yeah, that's it. Feeling that life feels like a task that you have to do is this already. It's just simply how it feels. It can feel heavy. It can feel like anything. And saying it feels heavy or claiming it feels heavy or writing it feels heavy is this already. So life feels like a task that I have to do with the heaviness of my free separated will. Well, there is no one having a free will or no free will. Thinking there's a you having a free will or no free will is this already. And believing there's free will or no free will or hoping there's free will is this. There's already no one doing this. So thinking, believing that there is free will is this. Everything is serious and means something. Stressful, anxious, irritated, depressed feelings for me. Yeah. Well, feeling like everything is serious and that everything means something for you and getting stressful, anxious, or irritated is just this. And feeling or thinking this, whatever seems to be happening, is happening to me or for me or by me, is this already. It's just simply what arises. Thinking this all is happening, it's my irritation, it's my frustration, I'm stressful and I'm angry and I think and I feel that life is heavy, is already just this. Just simply arises. And there's already no you doing just this. There's no you doing the anxiety. There's no you doing the stress, and there's no you doing the thinking. It just arises. There's no you already doing the feeling. And hoping by watching speakers or doing practices, the sense of everything is heavy will go for me is this too. So thinking or feeling there's a me or not is this already. And there's no one feeling like a me or not feeling like a me. There's just feeling like a me or not, or thinking there's a me or not, or believing there's a me or not, or hoping that the me will go away just simply rises. And loving the message that there is no me is already not loved by you. The loving and liking and resonating of this is already not done by you. There's already just simply what seems to be happening or what's happening. Feeling heavy is just this. Feeling this is all very heavy and everything means something and everything has meaning and this has meaning. Sitting here is meaningful or this, for me, this means something. Is this already? And it doesn't matter. There's already no you giving this meaning or not. Finding this meaningful, listening to a guy on YouTube, or finding it totally not meaningful, is this. And sitting and listening doesn't need meaning for it to be already just this. Sitting in front of a screen, listening, doesn't need meaning for it to be just simply sitting in front of a screen and listening. This is already just full on this. And whatever seems to be happening doesn't need meaning for it to be just whatever is happening. So giving this a meaning doesn't need meaning. Saying this is meaningless doesn't need meaning already. This, whatever seems to be happening, doesn't see you or me. It doesn't care. It's simply just this. Whatever arises. And feeling stressful, irritated, depressed is just simply this. And wanting to get rid of depression And doing anything to get rid of a depression is this already. Trying to search a way out of depression by seeking, by reading books, by doing therapy is just this already. The need to do something or not is already just this. And there's already no one doing the having the needs. There's no one doing the needs. And the being okay with whatever seems to be happening is this too. And this is not an accomplishment. There's already no one doing the accepting this. The trying to accept this is this. The trying to get this is this. The trying to get it is this. This is it. It is this. The trying to get rid of it is this. So the trying to get rid of a depression is this already. It's simply what seems to be happening. Trying everything to get rid of depression is this. And depression may end. Happiness may come. And thinking happiness will come because of me doing something or nothing is this already. So making an assumption that, well, I feel better now because of this, this, and that is this already. And likewise, thinking I will feel better if I do this, this, and that is this already. And believing by doing practices you will become better or you will be more able to control your thoughts is just this. It simply rises. And anything may appear to happen. Waking up in the morning and feeling sad or irritated or happy is just this. And there's already no one 5 minutes before waking saying, I'm going to wake up in 5 minutes and then my day is going to start and I'm going to be very happy. No. Feeling happy or not, or irritated, it simply rises. As is the conclusion that it does because of something. And it's even with this, suggesting that there's just this, is this already. This is not the knowing. This is not something which is found out after a long journey. No. Suggesting that there's just this, or saying there's more than this, is equally this. Saying there's just this, or saying there is more than this, something is more real than this, or more true than this, is this too. Believing that there's a God or that there's no God is equally just this. As is thinking there's a you doing this or not, is this already. And the believing the one or the other, or not, or sometimes, or shifting between the two, or not knowing sure, is this too. And there's no way out. There's no way out, as there's already no you doing this. And saying that there's just this, and calling this just this, is this already. So sitting in front of a screen and wondering if there are coming questions is this. And sitting in front of a screen and watching is this. And thoughts may arise or not. And liking the silence and having the love to sit more in silence and thinking silence is more beautiful than sound is just this. Thinking, believing that silence is better than no silence is just this. Sitting and waiting what is going to be said is just this. And thinking that there's maybe something to get out of this meeting is this already. Or just sitting here and being interested for no reason. Just sitting and wondering what is going to be said, curious. Is this too? Being curious just to see maybe people will ask something or not is this already. And there's no difference between being curious to see what Sander's going to say or to think that there's something which will help me. It's just simply what seems to arise. Thinking there's something to get here or not is this, and there's no difference. There's totally no difference. And thinking that one or the other is better is this. Was the question answered well, Nico? I don't know if you're still on the meeting. It was fine, yes, okay. And it's so beautiful, even when it's well, no, the answer was not good, it can happen. No, I don't like the answer. It's this too. The answer which you have given to me, yeah, no, I don't resonate with that. Or, well, the answer was good or it was fine. Is this already? It's direct. Liking an answer or not liking an answer is just simply happening. And we can say resonating with an answer or not resonating with an answer is just simply arising. And there's no one resonating with something else. There's just full on resonating. And resonating or not resonating, or liking or not liking, are basically just words for this. You can call this liking or resonating, it doesn't matter. It's just words. And words doesn't bring you anywhere. We can call this whatever we want. A YouTube live session, or a gathering, or a philosophy, or a concept group, or a non-duality Zoom meeting. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. This doesn't care. Whatever seems to be happening doesn't care for whatever it's being called. It's already just this. Just this appears as saying hello. Hello, the unmanifest. Welcome. Yeah, saying hello is this too. Just wanting to say hello or not saying hello, or maybe not wanting to say hello, or maybe thinking, well, why should I say hello or not? Or the total absence of the need to say hello or to say anything is just this already. It doesn't matter. Saying hello is just popping up. The need to say hello or to say nothing is just simply what seems to be happening. And there's no you behind the saying hello. Words appearing in the totality of what is, like the birds chirping, or just this, appearing as words, appearing as birds. Yes, totally. Exactly. Just words. And thinking and resonating with the words, or liking certain words. You can call this whatever you want: life, awareness, oneness, consciousness. It doesn't matter. Or just this. Calling this just this doesn't say anything. It's pointing to, yeah, this. You can call it whatever you want. Just words. And this is not leading to something else, which is not already this. This has no needs for words. Whatever seems to be happening doesn't need words. Just this appearing as sense, as being someone, wanting something, yeah. Feeling like a someone or not is this. And thinking that feeling like a me is dirty, or it needs to shift, or it needs to fall away, is just this. And waiting for that sense, whatever that sense is, the sense of me, whatever the sense of a me is, waiting for that to fall away is just this. There's already no one feeling like a me or feeling like a no me. And calling this or whatever feeling there is, well, this is feeling like a me. Now I feel like a me. It's just this. It's just calling this feeling like a me or a sensation. Just simply what arises. Just disappearing as someone wanting to change what is. Yes, wanting to change what is this already. There's not something which can be changed. But thinking there is something else which can be changed is this. Thinking that there's something else which is better than this, which is this already, is this. And calling something else better than this is this. Saying, well, this is worse than, well, this is much worse than my favorite Netflix series. Is this. Just simply. And I like to watch Netflix more than a guy on YouTube. Is this. And wanting to go and watch Netflix and leave the meeting and say, well, I don't like it, is this too. What a beauty. Beautiful. It's just this. Wanting to do something else. Is this appearing as someone having a sense that time is or isn't? Yeah. Is this appearing as. Well, it's actually not an appearing. So the idea that there's something else which is appearing as this is this. So thinking that there is something hidden or something more real, like pure awareness or true self, and that is appearing as this, is this. Thinking there is something which is wholeness appearing as separation is this too. Thinking all that is this. And this is already not two. Thinking that there's something else which is more real than this, that is this already. Thinking that there is something which is more sacred, more valuable than this, which is that, is this. Hey, Matthias, hello. And it doesn't matter. Thinking that there is something else which you really are, which you can become by sitting in a cave, is this. Believing that there's something more than this, which is the truth, which you can attain, is this. And there's nothing wrong. It just simply arises. Believing that there's something else or not, or maybe, or sometimes, is this. Saying this is nothing, appearing as everything, is this. Thinking that there is something which is called nothing, which you are, which you really are, is this. And it doesn't matter. It feels like there is a separated thunder who is speaking of something that I don't yet have. Yes, beautiful. Yes, Nico, that's it. That's just simply what seems to be happening. It feels that there is a thunder speaking of something that I don't yet have. So making just this into something which you can get is this. So objectifying the suggesting that there's nothing to attain and that there's just this, and making that in something which you can get or you don't have but you want to have, is this already. It's just simply what seems to be happening. Objectifying. So when there is said there's nothing to get, this can be objectified into something which I need to get. I need to get that there is something to get. I need to see that there's just this. Is this already? It's already not two. Wanting to see something is just full on this. And the wanting to get it is not separated from something else which is not already happening. So objectifying that there is nothing to get into something which you can get or which you don't have, but somebody else have, is this. And there's no way out. It just simply rises, objectifying and dividing and making this into something gettable, just this, sitting and saying there's just this and making this into something which can be gotten, is this already. And believing that there is talking about this because of something which is understand it and making that conclusion, is this already. Thinking there are speakers or gurus or whatever who has been realized or who knows something which I don't know, that itself is this already. And trying to get that is equally just this. And it simply, effortlessly, innocently arises. I need to get it also. Because when I get it, then maybe this, and that will happen. That's it too. Wanting and grasping and trying to find it and get it, that there's just this, is this. And whatever seems or not seems to be happening is this already. Crying, screaming, and wanting to get this is this already. Objectifying this into something which you can get is this already. Saying fuck you, I don't want to get it is this already. And having no needs to get this, but just liking to sit and listen is this. Just simply what seems to be happening. And there's already no one doing the objectifying, doing the longing, and doing the wanting, and doing the thinking. It just falls like rain. Boom. It simply arises. I need to get this. I want to get this. Maybe if I listen more and see more films and go to some other speakers, then maybe I will get it. That's it. That's it. All of that is this already. Maybe I listen a little bit longer and watch some more films and probably a little bit more, and then I get it. That's it. That's it already. And this, maybe if I do this, then I get that. And maybe if I listen a little bit more to different speakers, then I get it. This may just simply stop. The need to get it, which is already just this, wanting to get it, may just simply drop suddenly. But wanting to get it or not wanting to get it, there's no difference. The one is not better than the other, it just simply arises. The need to get it or the, I don't give a fuck, I don't need to get this, is this already. And thinking one or the other is better is equally just simply this. And feeling, Nico, there's a separate somebody who's talking about something which I don't get is this. What a beauty. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to get this. Wanting to get this or not is this. And even if there's been said there's nothing to get, there's nothing to get. Still, I want to get that there's nothing to get may happen. I want to feel that there's nothing to get. I want to know that there's nothing to get. Simply arising. So about 10 more minutes. If there's any questions or statements or whatever comes up, wanting to say hello, whatever seems to come up, just write in the chat box. It doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with whatever comes up. It doesn't matter. Saying, well, this is helpful. Yeah, if it's helpful, it's helpful. It's helpful for no one. If you get bored, it's this getting bored. If you feel helpful, if it felt helpful, hello, hello, hello. Yeah, so anything which seems to arise, just type it in the little box. It doesn't matter, there's nothing wrong. Whatever, ever comes out, there's nothing wrong. You cannot go wrong. There's already no you able to get wrong. There's just this. And thinking that you can go wrong and that you can ask a silly question or a stupid question and people will think, well, that's an idiot. That's it too. It's simply what seems to arise. Being nervous or not knowing what to say is this, or thinking, well, what will Sander think? Is this already? Maybe he thinks it's a stupid question. And all that is just simply arising. Yes, because it seems that speakers see that there's nothing to get. Yes, exactly. It seems that there are speakers who see that there's nothing to get. That's just simply how it's been seen or how it's been believed. That there's somebody here who knows something or another speaker who knows something which you want to get. That's just simply this already. So objectifying, the suggesting or the suggesting that there is just this is just objectified. Well, he knows that there's just this, and I don't know that there's just this, and I want to see that there's just this. All that is just this already. Thinking, believing that there are speakers, and thinking it sounds very convincing is this already. It's just what seems to be happening. Thinking that there are speakers who sees or who knows that there's nothing to get. No one knows or sees that there's something or nothing to get. It's just simply what seems to be happening. And believing that somebody knows something which you don't know and which they know is this already. The assumption and the conclusion just simply falls like rain. It just arises. He knows something, I'm sure. This guy looks happy, not much worries, and I want to get it. Is this too? Looks like an Icelandic style sweater. Knitted sweater. Oh well, I think it's Norwegian. I'd like to ask about cause and effect. Well, there are no cause and effects. This is not an effect of something. So whatever seems to be happening is not the effect of something else, which is not this. So thinking that there is a cause to whatever seems to be happening and believing there's a cause or something which is doing this, which is separate from this, is this already. So making this very logical or thinking there's logic behind this is this already. And thinking whatever seems to be happening is because of something else is this. and making this into a logical thing is this. It's just making this doesn't need logic for this to be already just sitting in front of a screen and listening and asking, what about cause and effect? What about cause and effect is already this. Wondering what cause and effect is this. Wondering if it knows, if it exists or not, is already just this. And thinking that this is because of something else is this. But there is not something else already. This is not an result of something which is done. This is what the me wants to believe. If there's cause and effect, then if I know the cause, and I can have the effect also. This is the whole game, so to say. If I know the cause, then I can get the effect. So cause and effect arises as this, but isn't anything else. Yes, exactly. We can say cause and effect is arising as this. But the funny thing with that is that there is not something else which is arising as this. But thinking there's something else, like nothing, or something behind this, which is arising as this, is this already. And it doesn't matter. Believing that there is something behind this, appearing as this, or not, or hoping, is this already. But we can say, yeah, cause and effect arises as this. And the wondering what cause and effect are is already just this. Wondering what is cause, what is effect. And saying calling this a cause and this an effect is this already. So dropping a phone and finding it on the ground, the dropping is the cause and the effect is on the ground. It's just simply what seems to be happening, calling this cause and effect. But throwing a phone, this whatever seems to be happening doesn't need names, it doesn't need an explanation for this already to be just full on this. So the question, what is cause and effect, doesn't need a cause for it to be just a question already. Just simply what seems to be happening. And calling the answer an effect of the question is just this. Giving this names and making this logical is this too. Connecting dots and making assumptions and conclusions and putting this in a timeline from A to B, from B to C, from 1 to 10 is this already. Just simply what seems to be happening. Making this logical and graspable is this. But whatever seems to be happening sitting in front of a screen doesn't need any logic for it to be just already sitting in front of a screen or holding a phone. This, whatever seems to be happening, doesn't care about logic. Sitting in front of a screen and asking questions doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't need logic. just simply arises. And thinking it need logic or not is this already. And thinking and believing this is totally not logical, what's been said here, is this already. It doesn't need logic. You can call this illogical, but it doesn't change already simply what seems to be happening, sitting in front of a screen and listening. Calling this logical or not doesn't change, which is already just full on this. And making this into a logical story, well, it's all just the brain doing this. It's all just the brain imagining this is this too. And resonating with cause and effect and logic is this. Resonating with the logical approach to this is because of that, and this is because of the brain is this already. It's just simply arising. Loving logic is this. And this doesn't need logic. Saying it doesn't need logic or does it or that it needs logic doesn't need logic to begin with. Whatever is being said apparently tonight doesn't need any logic for it to be just words arising, suggesting, and finding this logical or not is inescapable. And it doesn't change this already. So if there's anything burning, like a question burning to be asked, or statement, or whatever, is there anything that is not just this? Well, thinking there is, or asking if there's anything other than this, is just this. Asking if there's something, is there something else than this, is just this. And believing there is something else than this is this. And wanting to know if there's something else than this, is this too. Whatever seems to be happening is just this. And even thinking there's more, or wondering if there's more, or hoping that there is more, or imagining that there is more than just this, is this already. And wanting to know or suggesting that there's just this is this. Seems like it's impossible that all there is, for example, suffering when it's happening. Well, yeah, it can seem impossible. Suffering is this. And thinking that suffering is something else than happiness is this already. Just full on suffering. And thinking that suffering is bad, or that suffering is happening to me, or the absence of that thoughts or the feelings that is happening to me is this. And suffering itself is just whole and complete. Suffering doesn't need anything else. Suffering doesn't suffer. It's just full on suffering. Suffering has no likes, it has no needs. It's just full on this already. Suffering, happiness, not being happy. And thinking that one or the other is better, or that I need to get rid of the suffering and I want more happiness because happiness is better, and maybe by going to non duality teachings, I will be more happy and less suffering. Is this already? And there's already no one doing just this. Thinking the suffering or feeling the suffering is happening to me or not is this. And trying to get rid of the suffering and going to a psychologist or doing practices to get rid of the suffering is equally just this already. And not having the need to get rid of suffering or to let it just be, so to say, is already just this. And there's already no one letting suffering be or trying to get rid of suffering. And at the same time, trying to get rid of suffering or just to let it be is just this. It's just simply what seems to arise. I don't care if I suffer or not, may just simply happen. Getting hyped up about suffering and wanting to do everything about it what is possible is this too. And this may change. But there's already no one in a state of suffering able to come in a state of happiness. There's no one in any state. There's just full on suffering or the lack of suffering. And calling this suffering or happiness is this already. Giving suffering the name suffering is this already. And suffering doesn't need a name for it to be just full on suffering. And happiness doesn't need a name to be just full on happiness. And there's no difference between happiness and suffering. It's just simply what seems to be happening. And validating and saying, well, suffering is a 5 and happiness is a 10, is this already. Happiness is more special or is more good for me than suffering is already just simply what seems to be happening. Dividing and saying, I don't want suffering, I want happiness, is this already. I don't like suffering, I only like happiness, is this too. Just simply what seems to arise. and trying to get rid of the suffering is just naturally appearing to happen. Trying to not burn your hand on the stove is just simply what seems to be happening. Being less careful and not caring what seems to be happening is already just this. And there's already no one doing just this. It just simply arises as is calling this, or calling this suffering, or calling this happiness, or calling this awareness, consciousness, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever seems to be happening doesn't need names for it to be already just this. So I want to thank you all tonight for joining YouTube Live. Have a beautiful evening or day, wherever you are. And even if there's no me or no you, wishing everybody a beautiful day is this too. It's just simply what seems to be happening. Wishing everybody a beautiful night or day or evening or whatever is just this. So thank you very much. Enjoy